Every day, billions of people rely on a technology they rarely think about. It helps us drive. It helps planes fly. It helps emergency responders save lives. It helps ships cross oceans. And it guides nearly every smartphone on Earth. It's called GPS. But few people know that one of the people responsible for making GPS possible was a black woman from rural Virginia. A woman who spent her childhood picking tobacco in the fields. A woman who became one of the most brilliant mathematicians in American history. For decades, her work remained hidden until the world finally learned her name. This is the story of Gladys Brown West, the hidden genius behind GPS.
Chapter 1. A Childhood in Segregated Virginia. Gladys May Brown was born on October 27, 1930, in Sutherland, Virginia. She grew up in a family of sharecroppers during an era when opportunities for African Americans were severely limited. Her family worked hard. Very hard. Her mother worked in a tobacco factory. Her father worked for the railroad. And Gladys spent much of her childhood helping on the family farm. Life was difficult. But Gladys understood something important at an early age. Education could change everything. She later recalled that she saw school as her path to a different future. Unlike many children around her, Gladys loved mathematics. Numbers made sense. They followed rules. And unlike society, mathematics did not discriminate. She excelled in school, soon becoming one of the brightest students in her class. Her hard work would soon open a door that few African Americans in Virginia could access. Chapter 2. The Scholarship That Changed Her Life. At Gladys West's high school, a remarkable opportunity existed. The top 2 graduates in each class earned full scholarships to Virginia State College, now known as Virginia State University. Gladys had a goal. She intended to be one of them. In 1948, she graduated as valedictorian, and she won the scholarship. At Virginia State, she chose an unusual field, mathematics, at a time when both women and African Americans were dramatically underrepresented in the sciences. Gladys excelled in her studies and embraced campus life. In 1950, she became a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, pledging through the Alpha Epsilon chapter at Virginia State. The sorority's emphasis on scholarship, leadership, and service reflected values that would guide her throughout her life and career. In 1952, she graduated with a degree in mathematics. Then she began teaching math and science. But Gladys wasn't finished learning. She returned to Virginia State and earned a master's degree in mathematics in 1955. Her future seemed headed toward a career in education, but destiny had something much larger in mind.
Chapter 3. Entering a Secret World. In 1956, Gladys West accepted a position at the Naval Proving Ground in Dahlgren, Virginia. The job would change her life, and eventually, the world. She became only the second black woman ever hired there. In fact, she was one of only 4 black employees at the facility. The environment was challenging. America remained segregated. The civil rights movement had only begun, and opportunities for black women in science were almost non-existent. Yet Gladys excelled. She became a computer programmer at a time when computers filled entire rooms. These were not modern computers. There were no screens, no internet, no software as we know it today. Programs were fed into machines using stacks of punch cards. Even a tiny mistake could ruin weeks of work. But Gladys possessed extraordinary discipline and attention to detail, traits that would soon place her at the center of one of the most important scientific projects in modern history.
Chapter 4. Mapping the Earth.
To understand Gladys West's achievement, we first need to understand a problem. Most people think Earth is a sphere, but it isn't. Earth's shape is incredibly complex. Mountains,
oceans, gravitational variations, tidal forces, all create subtle distortions. For satellite navigation to work, scientists needed an extraordinarily precise model of Earth's shape. And that's where Gladys West came in. Beginning in the 1970s and continuing through the 1980s, she worked on advanced satellite geodesy projects. Using an IBM 7030 stretch computer, she programmed systems capable of calculating Earth's shape with unprecedented precision. The calculations were extraordinarily difficult. Massive amounts of satellite data had to be analyzed. Complex algorithms had to account for gravity, tides, and countless environmental variables. West's mathematical models gradually produced one of the most accurate representations of Earth ever created. In 1986, she published a major technical report explaining how to improve the accuracy of geoid heights and satellite measurements. The scientific community recognized the importance of the work, but few outside the field understood what these calculations would eventually make possible.
Chapter 5. The Foundation of GPS. The global positioning system requires something absolutely essential: an accurate model of Earth. Without one, satellite positioning becomes useless. Tiny errors in calculations can produce enormous navigation mistakes. Gladys West's mathematical models solved that problem. Her computations became foundational to the satellite navigation systems that would eventually become GPS. Today, GPS guides cars, aircraft, ships, emergency services, farmers, delivery companies, telecommunication systems, autonomous vehicles. In many ways, modern society depends on GPS, and GPS depends on mathematical work pioneered by Gladys West. Millions of people use this technology every day. Most have never heard her name. Chapter 6. Hidden in Plain Sight. For much of her career, Gladys West received little public recognition. Much of her work was classified. Even her own children did not fully understand the significance of what she had accomplished. As a Black woman working in a government research facility during the Civil Rights era, she often experienced discrimination. Her biography later revealed disappointment that opportunities and recognition were frequently given to white colleagues instead. Yet, she continued working, year after year, decade after decade, focused not on fame, but on getting the mathematics right. She later explained, "When you're working every day, you're not thinking, what impact is this going to have on the world? You're thinking, I've got to get this right." And she did. Chapter 7. Finally recognized. For decades, Gladys West's contributions remained largely unknown. The calculations she helped develop transformed navigation around the world, yet few people knew her name. Then, in 2018, everything changed. She was inducted into the United States Air Force Hall of Fame. The world finally began to recognize her role in helping create the mathematical foundation for GPS. More honors followed. She was named one of BBC's 100 Women. She received the Prince Philip Medal from the Royal Academy of Engineering. She was awarded the IEEE President's Award. Schools were named in her honor. And recognition came not only from the scientific community, but also from the sisterhood she had faithfully served for decades. A member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated since 1950, Gladys West was honored as a Diamond member, recognizing 75 years of membership, service, and sisterhood. For 3/4 of a century, she exemplified the values of scholarship, leadership, and service. A lifetime dedicated not only to advancing science, but to uplifting others. The honors continued to grow. The mathematician who once worked quietly behind the scenes was now celebrated around the world. The hidden figure was hidden no longer.
The conclusion. Gladys Brown West passed away in January 2026 at the age of 95. Her legacy lives on every time a phone finds its location, every time a pilot reaches a destination, every time emergency responders save a life using navigation technology. From a sharecropper's farm in Virginia to technology used by billions around the world, Gladys West helped change the way humanity moves across the earth. And for that reason, her story deserves to be remembered. Because history isn't only made by the people whose names appear in textbooks. Sometimes, it's made by the hidden geniuses behind the scenes.
Gladys Brown West helped the world navigate the Earth, but long before GPS, another hidden genius helped transform how America moved. Every day, millions of people ride trains powered by innovations they never think about. But few know the name Granville T. Woods. Forced to leave school at just 10 years old, he taught himself engineering and became one of America's greatest inventors. He earned more than 60 patents, revolutionized railroad safety, and even defeated Thomas Edison in court. Granville T. Woods, the Black Edison. Coming next on The Hidden Black Legacy Project. The stories left behind.
The story doesn't end here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Hidden Black Legacy Project. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode and help bring hidden history to light.